Welcome to KJMO, Johnny Mo's Dark Knight Radio. It's been a while since we had the show on. We had that, we had that scare, the Civil War here. Actually, it turned out to be a really horrible dream I had. I put it on, as if it was real. But thank God it was just a nightmare. That would be that Trump was reelected and he suspended our civil liberties and rights, and that the MAGA people were able to incite riots all over the country and actually take the military from the military, or a lot of the military turns out to be pro-Trump people. And remember, I have respect for everybody that's, if they like Trump or not like Trump, that's an individual thing or whatever. But I'm talking about my dream, my nightmare, and that can't be denied. It was mine, and it just so happened that in this nightmare, that the cities, the kind of liberal type cities like San Francisco and Portland, Seattle, they were all nuked by the Trumponian Air Force in my nightmare. And nuclear radiation just spread up and down the West Coast. I mean, we worry about that big earthquake out here and the tsunamis that would come after that. That's for real. Living on the coast, I heard that tsunami siren go off sometimes, and it's real scary stuff, I mean, it's a very ugly, strange, kind of otherworldly sound. And I moved back to the Oregon coast after I, not too soon after the big tsunami hit, the Asia. Well, I guess it traveled all over a lot of the world, but I know that Thailand got hit really bad. Anyway, and Sri Lanka, but anyway, I moved to the coast, and strangely enough, a few months later, there was a tsunami predicted for the Oregon coast. There wasn't much that happened. People kind of laughed about it later, but it wasn't funny at the time, because actually people were, it was a for real tsunami siren, and a scare. And people, I lived up a hill, a few hundred feet up a hill, and people traveled to the end of that road. So, it was taken seriously. But yeah, anyway, in this nightmare, this was every bit as bad, but it was, Americans killing Americans again, like the Civil War. Anyway, so sometimes I wonder, like, in this radio thing, like, sometimes I wonder, what, getting older, and my partner, she's younger a little bit than me, 6 or 7 years younger, but she has a history in her family of lung clots, lung clots, I guess. Killed her older brother and her sister in November. Her older brother 6 years ago. Her older sister in November. Partly, the guy didn't take care of himself too much. He had heart trouble too. That was part of the problem. And then the woman, she was a pilot, that's her sister. And that's not good when you're an airline pilot and you have, it's susceptible to clots. So Rosalie is trying to deal with all that stuff. But, of course, as a kid, my dad suddenly died when I was 10, so my mom had to deal with all that, so it's not like I've never seen this stuff happen before where people die suddenly. Those 3 people I refer to, my dad and her sister, Rosalia's sister and brother, they all died suddenly. And So I was thinking, like, if this kind of thing happened, I mean, like, for me, if I died suddenly, it really wouldn't be suddenly, because I've been, like, sort of dying for the last God knows how many years. So I think people were actually putting bets on my death back in Brandon, Oregon, on the coast, some years ago. At least people were telling me, we didn't think you were going to make it. We thought for sure you were dead. Well, I hear that stuff off and on. And no, what is it that Mark Twain said? The news of my passing or my death is greatly exaggerated. Not yet. I have not gone into the netherworld. But I worry. I sometimes think, God, would I had the courage to even go on if something happened to Rosalia? I mean, there might be her sister left, I hope, her other sister, younger sister, that I could talk to, whatever, about it. I mean, she lives 500 miles away in San Francisco. But, I mean, what does that mean, talk to? It just means talking, exactly. It means the person is still gone. And when you hang up the phone, or you stop talking to the person, or the person goes home, you're left alone to deal with your thoughts and your emotions and your feelings about the whole thing. And at one point, or some people, they would think, alcohol, I need just to drink and get as much, become as dead as possible. Or for me, it would be narcotics, I just need to do as much narcotics as possible to deaden this pain. But since I don't drink, and I can't seem to anymore anyway, and I have a narcotic blocker in the medicine I take, that's not an issue or a problem. I'm just be there, just with my thoughts and pain. And I would think, well, okay, Rosalia's in a better place, because that's what they always say. The person that dies is in a better place. The person that lives is in the worst, has got the worst end of the deal. I don't know if it's true or not, but it appears that way in some ways, because the person that's left has to deal with the other person's passing, and it's not easy. I guess it's not meant to be easy. But I wonder, would I have the strength to go on in this world if something happened to Rosalia? Because she means so much to me. And it's great to have that kind of relationship with somebody. I mean, we fight plenty and we have our problems, for sure, but she's like my best friend. And with the animals, they need more attention and everything, and I need to be giving them more of that. I'm healing better with my injuries, so I'm going to do that more. But, it's the same thing. It's like, what will happen to them, if something happens, like, to me or us all of a sudden. It's just, this world is a strange mixture of being really happy about the way things go sometimes, and just incredibly kind of nerve-wracking, we'll wonder. I mean, it's easy to say, well, just don't worry about that stuff, but I have to worry about it because I have these responsibilities, just like probably all you guys do, whether it be kids or an individual or whatever. But anyway, it's just something to think about, and I think how I'll solve it is just try to make sure that I have things legally tightened up. Like, if something happens to us, who could get the benefit of this house. We're still paying off, but small little house, it's not much left to pay off. And who could help place the animals? And I know a guy that's helped me out for years here, and he said he would do that. So if I get it all together, then I have some help with that. But yeah, so it's legally tightening up things. And then deciding to want to live. It's also making sure that I have it together on my health stuff. So I'm doing that now. Seeing this doctor every few months, and then a wound care person once a month. Anyway, it's just, I guess I'll end this by saying, if anybody's in a similar situation, then I suppose the most important thing is, and I don't think a will is such a great thing, from what I understand, but living trust or something like that, is better, as it's less, it takes less time to deal with the people that are getting your assets, can get to them faster after you're dead than in a straight will. But that's something to talk to a lawyer about. All right, y'all. Have a good day after this kind of depressing conversation or whatever, or monologue. But I think that's, it's just the reality. Dying itself doesn't scare me. I feel like I've lived a pretty long life, and I might I might change my mind, when I'm right at the edge of it. But I really have faith that there is something beyond what we have here. And if there isn't, then, I don't remember being born. I don't remember before I was born. And I suppose if I died and there was absolutely nothing, or when we died there is absolutely nothing, I suppose I won't remember that either. So it's just non-existence. That's just what it means. But it also means that, man, I better appreciate every moment of life here. Because if that's the way it is, and this is all I'll ever have, ever, for eternity, and eternity is forever, best not waste any more of it. Now, on the other side, if there is the spirit world out there, and we really go to, our souls really depart our body and go some other place in the world, and I'm not talking about a god that looks like Captain Kangaroo from the 1960s. I'm talking about into the spirit world that is limitless, and that our energy is somehow transferred into that world. And I don't know how, or if we ever recognize, like, our relatives or people that we love or know in the past. I don't know if we would even recognize ourselves as an entity of any kind. But I do know that what do I do know? I do know what I heard from other people about their stories with ghosts and geists and things like that. But that could be a total different, I guess the word again is entity, than maybe what we perceive as after we die and our souls go somewhere, if we believe that. I mean, the point is that ghosts, guys, spirits, whatever you want to call them, they could be a totally different kind of thing than if people die and their souls go to heaven or something like that, just because that's, or hell, or whatever you want to, wherever they go. But the idea that of this complete non-existence, it just doesn't seem, it just seems like kind of what a waste, doing all this stuff, and then bam, it's over. Somehow I just don't believe that. Okay, y'all, have a fine morning, night, day, afternoon, wherever you're at. And if you feel like it, subscribe to the station. It helps out. Or give the thing a like button if you like what you're hearing. And thanks again for everything, for you guys' support on this radio and Start That Radio thing, and the music channel too, which is also going to include more animal videos and more health type videos soon. Okay, so long, you guys. Have a fine day wherever you're at.